going on, guys? It's your boy, Devin Taleghani, right here on Clutch. And welcome. This is episode number 2. I'm really excited to get this going, so let's get things going right now. So right now, we have to talk about the draft. It was an amazing draft. It really was. Drafting with, Mac Jones. The Patriots drafted Mac Jones in the first round, which was great. He's going to be a good quarterback for us. He's going to be a great future quarterback for the Patriots, I think. And, with the Patriots drafting him, I think he's going to be on the bench right now. It could be a possibility. But can he come and play later on in the season? I think so. I have a great feeling that he could start maybe mid-season if, we don't do well. If the Patriots are probably 5-5, maybe 6-6, whatever record they are, I think the Patriots are going to do well. I think the Patriots are going to strive well. We're going to be 13-4 possibly, or 11-6. But I'm excited. Mac Jones is New England Patriot right now. And how else better can you get? Here's the thing. For me being a Patriots fan, I wanted us to draft Justin Fields. I really felt like he could be a great part of the Patriot system. But we all know that he went to the Chicago Bears. Now, the Chicago Bears, they got a great quarterback. All three of them. Andy Dalton, Nick Foles, and now Justin Fields, which is great. They have a lot of options at quarterback. If I'm the Chicago Bears right now, I'm definitely starting Andy Dalton. But it could be a tight race for Justin Fields. Justin Fields, Nick Foles, anyone can start out there if you're the Chicago Bears. But enough of the Chicago Bears. Mac Jones, great pick. I'm so glad that we have a future quarterback for the Patriots right now. It is great. It is amazing. Now we don't have to worry about any other quarterbacks to sign here to maybe trade for. But if I'm the New England Patriots right now, you have to stop and think about this for a while. Do you think that Jarrett Stidham will be on the roster come opening time? And I don't think so. Because here's the thing. Yeah, we had him for a year last year, and yeah, he didn't do well. But if I'm the New England Patriots right now, you have to stop and think and say this. Is Jarrett Stidham really the guy that you're looking for in New England? Is he the answer? And I don't think he is. Because if Jarrett Stidham was the answer for the Patriots, he would have been a starting quarterback last year. And we wouldn't have signed Cam Newton in the offseason. So I could possibly see Jarrett Stidham not being on the Patriots anymore. I could see him being cut during the preseason. I could really see that. I mean, yeah, we'd only have 2 quarterbacks, but, who knows? Maybe Jarrett Stidham could say maybe he could go. But I can definitely see Jarrett Stidham not being in the Patriots uniform by the start of the season. I just don't see it. I really don't see Jarrett Stidham working out for the Patriots. Yeah, he's a decent quarterback. He's an okay quarterback, but I just don't think that him being on the Patriots right now is really the answer. I have a feeling that Mac Jones could be our future. I really can see that for the Patriots. And I think if you're Bill Belichick right now, you're really sitting down and you're thinking, is Jarrett Stidham really going to be the answer that the Patriots need right now? And the answer to that is no. Because you got Mac Jones and you have Cam Newton. Now, here's the thing. I think I discussed this in last week's episode, but is Cam Newton going to be the answer for the Patriots? We don't know, but I think that Cam Newton is on a revenge tour right now. He is on, I'm ready to prove all the haters wrong because everyone's down in the Patriots. Everyone's saying, the Patriots aren't going to do well. Cam Newton, he's a washed-up quarterback. He hasn't played since the days he's been, quarterback for the Panthers when they were in this run for the Super Bowl. But, that's getting Cam Newton probably upset, probably sad, pissed off. And Cam Newton's thinking to himself, hey, I'm going to prove everyone wrong right now. I have weapons. I have Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith. I have Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers, and I can't believe I'm saying this name, but N'Keal Harry. I have a lot of weapons for the New England Patriots, and I'm on a revenge tour, and the Patriots are on the shock the world nation. They going to shock the world. They're going to come out here, and they're going to do that. That's what they're going to do. The New England Patriots will be back in the playoffs. Will they make it to the AFC Championship game? Possibly. I'm giving them a 50% chance right now. The New England Patriots possibly making it. It could be a possibility. But I would have to see halfway through the season. I think Cam Newton will shock the world. I think he will. He's going to make the Patriots win 10 or 11 games. We could possibly the fourth seed in the playoffs, or maybe wild card. It could be wild card. You never know with Cam Newton. But here's the difference between last season and this season. Last season, Cam Newton had no freaking weapons. He had no one besides Julian Edelman and Demary Bird, or whatever the heck his name is, that he's now on the Bears now. But he had no weapons compared to this season. He knows Hunter Henry. He knows Jonnu Smith. He knows Aguilar, and he knows Kendrick Bourne. And he knows his wide receivers too, like Myers and Harry better. But Jacoby Myers was on an MVP tour for the Patriots. He was saving our butts, and I'll tell you that. But Cam Newton, he's on that revenge tour. Everyone's doubting him. You know, Bills fans, Jets fans, Miami fans. I don't think some Patriots fans, because maybe some Patriots fans, but Cam Newton, I'm going to say this right now, and it'll happen. He owned that shock the world tour right now, and it's about to happen right now this season. Everyone's going to say, oh, Cam Newton's not going to shock the world. He ain't going to even make the playoffs. But look, he damn well has weapons, and he damn well is going to prove all the haters wrong. And I can't wait to see him on that revenge tour this season. You know, we have the sixth easiest schedule in the NFL. I don't know who the other 5 teams are that have the other easiest schedules ahead of us, but we have the sixth easiest schedule. So I can definitely see us. I'll talk about that in my next week's episode about the schedules, but I think that the Patriots can obviously win 10, 11, maybe 12 games and be 12-5, 11-6, 10-7. I can definitely see that. But Tony Romo was right. I think he said this in the AFC Championship game or a playoff before that, saying, oh, New England's going to be back. And shockingly, I really love Tony Romo as a, broadcaster. He knows what he's talking about. And he was right. The Patriots will be back and be better than ever. They will be. It's an honest opinion. It's true. Because if you're not making the playoffs with a roster with Jonnu, with Hunter Henry, Aguilar, with Kendrick Bourne, then Cam Newton is not the answer for the Patriots, and Mac Jones will be starting couple seasons. But who knows? Who knows? But I believe in Cam. You know that, one ex-girlfriend, you're like, hey, I'll give you a second chance, and we'll see where things go from there. That's basically what Cam Newton is when he's on the Patriots for his second year. First year, he was washed up. He didn't even know how to pass the ball. He was throwing, screen passes into the dirt. He was missing all of his wide receivers, and he only threw 10 touchdowns and I think a couple interceptions. But that's the difference between Cam Newton last year to this year. We saw Cam Newton further ahead into the season where he had no preseason, no practice, no whatsoever. But compared to this season, he has a lot of time to practice. He has all the time in the world to, talk with his teammates, to, perform well, to, strategize with his, players. And I think he can definitely turn things around for the New England Patriots this year. I can definitely see that. Because Cam Newton, I know many people are saying, oh, he's not a great quarterback. He's washed up. But Cam Newton this season is going to prove everyone wrong. And I cannot wait until he shocks the world. Because many people are hating him. Many people are saying that he's not good. But I do agree. last season was not a great season for Cam Newton. He proved everyone wrong because he did not perform well. 7-9 is not a winning season. That's not proving everyone right, and it's not proving everyone wrong. But the New England Patriots didn't know what was happening. Because here's the thing. If they had trust in Stidham, could we have won more games? Possibly. Could we have won in Seattle maybe with his throwing arms, with his running abilities? 50-50 chance, maybe, possibly. But I don't think it would have been different from 7-9. It could have been 6-10, maybe a little bit 8-8, just like the Dallas Cowboys. But we don't know. Because here's the thing. If Bill Belichick would have started Jarrett Stidham last season, we wouldn't have had to deal with Cam. Would Mac Jones come to us, in the draft? Of course. Yes, he would. Because, we, as us Patriots fans say, we don't know if we have trust in Stidham. And here's the difference between having trust and not having trust in someone. If Bill Belichick actually trusted Stidham, we wouldn't have signed Cam last season. We wouldn't have known, will Stidham be a great future quarterback for the New England Patriots? Now, last year's draft was kind of interesting, having, Joe Burrow go to the bank, being drafted by the Bengals, and him getting hurt halfway through the season. But a good quarterback that we could have gotten in the draft that I'm a little bit upset with Bill Belichick about, because Jake Fromm is a wonderful quarterback. He's basically like, if you combine these two players together, Russell Wilson and Drew Brees combined. He can run like Russell Wilson. He has a great arm like Drew Brees. And I think that would have been a great quarterback to have as the third stringer. He would have been fine. And I think possibly if we didn't sign Cam last season, I think he would have been the starter. And I think he would have been great. People in the draft were telling him how great he was as a thrower, as a catch. He was just a great person to have on the field, and he could he have turned things around in New England? Maybe not. But the Patriots should have thought about this really long and hard. Was it a good idea to bring Cam Newton into the system? I think it was, but I think we would have been more happier to see how Jarrett Stidham would have fit in the system, even though he threw a couple of touchdown passes last season, and now he's had his first couple throws. But I think we would have all questionized this situation with having Jimmy Garoppolo be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. I think that would have been clutch to have him come back. I know everyone's going to say, oh, he's injury prone. No, that's not a good match to have, Jimmy G come here in New England. But I think it would have been a lot better situation than having Cam Newton as your quarterback. I think it would have been better to have someone who actually knows the system and can, teach other younger, wiser quarterbacks the system in Jimmy G than have somebody that doesn't even know the system in Cam Newton to come and play for the New England Patriots. It's not a bad idea. I'm not saying that bringing in Cam was a terrible idea. I think it was a great idea to see if, can Cam still play like he did in Carolina, or can he play, like he did when he used to play for the Super Bowl with the Panthers? But I think Cam Newton on that Shock the World tour, it's about to happen. It's going to be insane right now. But right now we're going to hit our first break. When we get back, I'm going to talk about the Boston Celtics and do they actually deserve to be in the playoffs, and how well will they do in this year's playoffs. You're listening to The Clutch. I'm Devin Taleghani. Welcome back to The Clutch. We just had a great talk about, Mac Jones, Cam Newton on the Patriots right now. But let's switch gears to Celtics, as we are going to talk about how well the Celtics can really actually do. And will the Celtics actually do well in the playoffs? Can the Celtics shock the world, just like I said with Cam Newton? I think that the Boston Celtics will have a tough time with playing in the playoffs. And here's my reason why. I think the Celtics are going to have a tough time because here's the thing. We have two superstars on the team in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Now, are those two playing to the exact height that we want them to play? No, not really. Because, just a couple nights ago, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum both got hurt. I mean, no, it wasn't their fault. They ran into each other. But here's the thing. The Boston Celtics of this year, of 2021, do not deserve to be in the playoffs. They don't. They've been losing to a lot of bad teams. The Bulls, the Thunder, and the New York Knicks. They're not a bad team. They're not a bad team, the Knicks. But the Boston Celtics are in 7th place right now. And the New York Knicks, Stephen A. Smith's Knicks, are doing a whole lot better than the Boston Celtics. And that, to me, is a slap in the face right there. Because here's the thing. This offseason, did we get anyone good this year? We got Tristan Thompson and Jeff Teague. And what happened to them? Tristan Thompson was the better acquisition than Jeff Teague was. I thought Jeff Teague could actually, bring us back to playoff hype and actually bring us to the playoffs and actually play well like the Jeff Teague when he used to play for the Atlanta Hawks. I really thought he could actually do that. But did he? No. He did not perform to his perspective here in Boston. I mean, yes, our draft picks are doing well. Pritchard and Nesmith. Pritchard is absolutely tearing it up for the Celtics right now. He is putting the team on his back, just like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown should have been doing. Right now, the Celtics should be sitting in 4th place, just like the New York Knicks. But are they doing that? No, not really. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown need to push this to the limit. They really need to do that if they want us to perform well in the playoffs. Because the Eastern Conference is hard. I'm going to tell you that. With the Milwaukee Bucks, with the Nets, and the surprising 76ers. I'll tell you that. Those are the 3 toughest teams. And throw in the new. The New York Knicks are a tough team to handle. They really are. Because here's the thing. Will the Celtics beat any of those 4 teams in the playoffs? Probably not. That ain't going to happen. Milwaukee Bucks are better than you. The Nets are better than you. Surprisingly, the 76ers are a whole better team than the Boston Celtics. Can they perform to the hypest? I don't think so. This year, if you ask me as a Boston Celtics diehard fan, do they deserve to be in the playoffs right now? I'm going to say, heck no. They do not deserve it. They're playing well against some crappy and some good teams. I'll tell you that. But they don't deserve to be in the NBA playoffs right now. Not by the way they're playing. I thought they'd be higher right now. I thought they'd be in the higher standings. But nope. The Boston Celtics, as we speak of right now, are not playing to the hypest. They really aren't. And they really haven't had a superstar other than Kyrie Irving years ago when he used to play for us and we traded for him. When he traded down to the Celtics. When Danny Ainge made that great trade to acquire him. I thought Kyrie Irving could have been the answer for the Celtics. I really thought that. As a Celtics fan, I was pumped. I was like, hey, we actually got a Cleveland Cavalier, and he's actually good. Minus LeBron James. And I thought that, he could actually play with us, and he could actually be the point guard that we've wanted. Kind of like the Rajon Rondo that we've been kind of looking for in a point guard. But, long story short, we all knew that, that didn't work out. The whole press conference at the season ticket holder with Kyrie Irving saying, I'm going to sign here for the rest of my life. And then him signing with Brooklyn, yada, yada, yada. But if you ask me, Kemba Walker is the answer that the Celtics have been looking for. And I'm really pumped and I'm really excited about this. Because here's the thing. I've always watched him when he was on Charlotte, and he's played amazing. Even though he's been getting hurt here and there, I think that Kemba Walker is the answer at point guard, and I would like to see him play for the Celtics from time on to time on. I would really strive to see him play in a Celtics uniform for the rest of his life. Because I can't picture him on any other team. This is his second year playing for the Celtics. He's been doing a phenomenal job. Outstanding. Better than any of the point guards. But besides the great Isaiah Thomas, he's been playing great. He's been doing an amazing job for the Boston Celtics as we speak right now. And here's the thing. Yeah, I'm talking bad about the Celtics, but I think they can strive if they don't have any more injuries. And here's the thing. I love the trade acquisition of Evan Fournier. He's been a great Celtic player the past couple weeks. When I saw that we were interested in Aaron Gordon and Evan Fournier, I've been watching Fournier ever since I was little. Man, can that kid shoot. He can shoot the lights out right now. And he's been performing well. His threes are amazing. His defense is unbelievable. He can't be stopped right now. You know, Evan Fournier. He's been a Magic all his life, and he's been a great player. You know, I'm upset that we didn't get Aaron Gordon a little bit, but, you know, Aaron Gordon is striving well with the Denver Nuggets, and, you know, we don't need him right now. And here's the thing. Evan Fournier, if you ask me, he's been producing well. He's been playing defense like Marcus Smart. He's been just carrying the team on his back. Him, and you can throw in Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker has been a great acquisition for us. I've loved him ever since he was on the Milwaukee Bucks. You know, Danny Ainge is a not that bad GM, but here's the thing. Will he be on the hot seat right now? I don't think so. If the Celtics lose the next couple of games, the next couple of weeks, and he ain't back here, and the Celtics aren't in the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised, because here's the thing. You have two superstars on that team. You used to have a lot when you used to have Rozier, not superstar players, but mediocre players like Rozier, Markieff Morris, or Marcus Morris. I think it was Marcus Morris. We had Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford. That was the Celtics team that I missed. I miss seeing them play on the team. And Rozier's been doing a phenomenal job for the Hornets. He's been doing an amazing job. Same with Gordon Hayward. That team's been producing amazing. And, you know, I just have nothing but good words for them. You know, even though they're in the East. You know, Ball's doing great on that team. And, you know, that team's just amazing. I just see in one of my headlines right now, the Boston Celtics are playing the Magic, and they are without Jaylen Brown and Romeo Langford. You know, Romeo Langford, I'm not that too butthurt about. But Jaylen Brown, he's been a big piece for the Celtics. And, you know, him being out against the Magic, that's not good. But I think the Celtics can pull this out. Because the Magic, they don't have anyone good right now on the team, if you ask me. They don't have anyone that's good. They lost, you know, Vucevic, Gordon. They lost Fournier. Good thing they didn't lose Terrence Ross because he's been a good player for the team. And they have still former St. Andrews alumni, school that I went to, Michael Carter-Williams, who's still there and who's playing amazing. But, you know, this Magic team, you know, they're striving for a better future. That's why they let go of all those three people I talked about with Vucevic and Gordon Fournier. That's why they let all of them go, because they're on a rebuilding stage. And I think the Magic could possibly be back next season if they're looking for a greater future. I could actually really see that happening. But as of right now, the Magic, they're not even close to playoff contention. But, you know, it'll be awesome to see. But, you know, going back to the Celtics, if they can beat any of these teams right here, the Bucks next or the 76ers, I don't see it. I can see them possibly beating, if they make it, the Chicago Bulls. even though that team is striving for greatness, Daniel Tice being on their starter or their bench. But this NBA playoffs are going to be fun. I can't wait to see it. I have a feeling that it could possibly be, Bucks, I think, against the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals, because those both teams are good. Even the 76ers. I think possibly the Knicks. I can't believe I'm saying this right now. On May 5th, the New York Knicks could actually make the Eastern Conference. Because here's the thing. Julius Randle and Derrick Rose have been putting the Knicks on their back. That is a team in NY City that's performing well. I can't believe it. I'm saying this. I can't believe that, the New York Knicks, I thought with them having no one except for, Julius Randle, that team's been a surprise team in the NBA. They're sitting in the 4th seed right now as we talk right now. It's just wow. I can't believe that, the Knicks, the New York City Knicks, are in playoff contention right now. 4th seed! Are you kidding me right now? Oh, that team has shocked me. I can't believe they're performing well, better than the Celtics. The New York Knicks really do deserve to be in the playoffs. They really do. This team has heart. This team has a lot of desire to do well and strive well. And I think for the first time in forever, since way back when, both New York teams, the Nets and the Knicks, will be in the playoffs right now. But, there's about 2 weeks left in the NBA, so it'll be very interesting to see. I mean, in the Western Conference, that team, that's like a wow joker kind of thing. The Los Angeles Lakers, I mean, if they didn't have LeBron James or Anthony Davis hurt, they probably would have been sitting 2nd seed or 3rd seed right now. They're sitting in the 6th seed right now as we talk about, the Western Conference standings. It's just amazing to see how teams perform right now. If it weren't for injuries, if it weren't for, the whole COVID protocol, if it weren't for that stuff right now, the Lakers could have been sitting 3rd, maybe 4th seed. But with injuries to 2 of their top players in LeBron James and Anthony Davis, that's just unbelievable, and that's just crazy to see that the Los Angeles Lakers, King James's Lakers, are sitting at the 6th seed right now. I mean, who would have known? Possibly the Lakers be falling off the edge this season. I mean, they don't really have the team that they used to have. Rajon Rondo went to the other side of LA to play for the Clippers. Well, he first signed with the Hawks, and then he got traded to the LA Clippers, and now the Clippers are hopefully. That is a team that I'm hoping that strives well, because they did amazing in free agency with the Ibaka, with getting Rajon Rondo during the trade deadline. I was hoping that team could win the playoffs and the NBA championships last season, because with the trade of Paul George signing up Kawhi Leonard or trading of Kawhi Leonard, I was hoping that could actually happen. But we all know the Lakers won that one, and so on and so on. LeBron James wins. But, the Los Angeles Clippers, they're a scary team, with getting Ibaka, with getting Rondo, that team could possibly be back and striving well in the playoffs. I think Denver could possibly do well. Maybe, and the Phoenix Suns will definitely shock everyone this year. I think they're a first-place team, which is amazing. But that wraps it up with the NBA talk. We're going to talk MLB to wrap up the show. And we'll see you guys in the next couple of seconds. I'm Devin Taleghani, and this is The Clutch. Welcome back on the Clutch. My name is Devin Taleghani. So to wrap up the show, we are going to talk about the Red Hot Red Sox. But before we talk about the Red Sox, we just had a no-hitter alert happen for the Baltimore Orioles. John Means threw a no-hitter for the Baltimore Orioles. I think it's been the first no-hitter in like many, many years. I want to say 59 or maybe 52 years, possibly. And that's just amazing. Because here's the thing. We all know that the Baltimore Orioles are never going anywhere. They don't have a great system. They don't have a good team. They haven't been good ever since Melvin Moore and Miguel Tejada used to play, and Luke Scott. But John Means is a great pitcher. Their pitching staff is not too bad with Harvey, with Means, with everyone on that pitching rotation. But it's really sad that they're not going to go anywhere because they're sitting dead last in the AL East. I think it goes Red Sox, Rays, Yankees, Blue Jays, and then Baltimore Orioles. I mean, John Means, he played 9 innings. He struck out 12 players, which is amazing. And he just threw, man, a no-hitter. I can't believe it. A Baltimore Orioles player threw a no-hitter, and that's just awesome to see for the Orioles right now with their season going. Basically, as always, downhill. But they were 3-0 to start the season. Yes, that is correct. They swept the Boston Red Sox to start off their season. But I knew that wasn't going to last long. Rah-rah, system ball. The Baltimore Orioles had a 3-0 record. Amazing. But the decline is going down. Even though they've won 15 games and lost 18, I wish them nothing but the best throughout the rest of the season. I hope that they can strive well in the next coming, hopefully, seasons. Because this team is like the Cleveland Browns of years ago. They are a laughing stock because they don't have anyone good or they don't have anyone that can perform. Yes, their offense is great with Michael Franco and with Freddie Galvis. And, Trey Mancini coming back from cancer, which is amazing. But that's just amazing. John Means throwing a no-hitter against the Seattle Mariners away. Yes, he threw it away. He didn't throw it in Camden Yards. He threw it away. And it's just amazing to see no-hitters happen. And here's the thing. I'm getting off topic on this, but, here's the thing. Madison Bumgarner threw a no-hitter during a doubleheader. And, in a doubleheader this year, it's 7 innings. But here's the question. Does that count for a no-hitter? I think I forgot what team he threw it against, but Madison Bumgarner threw a no-hitter in a 7-inning game. Should that count for a no-hitter or AKA perfect game? I think in my books, I would definitely count it as a no-hitter / perfect game. I would call it. It's a no-hitter. It happened, yes, during a 7-inning game, but 7 innings, 6 innings, 5 innings, it's still a freaking no-hitter. It still happened. I still think it should count. It really should. I think it should count in the books for a no-hitter. I know in MLB it doesn't count because it's only 7 innings, but I say it does count. I think they should overchange the ruling to, if it's 7 innings or a 6-inning game or less or more, it should count as a no-hitter or a perfect game. But let's go back to our lovely homebound Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox are red hot right now, even though they did lose 3 out of 4 games to the Texas Rangers. They lost Thursday night. They won on my birthday Friday. They lost Saturday. They had a lead on Sunday. The Red Sox had a lead, but lost it when Adam Ottavino came in the 8th inning, and then our hometown favorite player, Brock Holt, hit a 2-run single double, and that ended the game 5-3. We lost. But Tuesday, the the Boston Red Sox have a 3-game set, and they're playing right now against the Detroit Tigers, which is amazing. Last night's game, we won 11-7. Kudos to our newly acquired right fielder, Hunter Renfroe. He hit his 100th home run of his major league career. And that's just awesome. Having 100 home runs or more, it's just amazing. It really is amazing to see, these players have milestones of home runs, of RBIs, of hits. And it's just really great to see that, our newly acquired right fielder is having one of his amazing seasons right now. He was a great acquisition, Kiki Hernandez, Marwin Gonzalez, all those outfielders / infielders are pursuing well for the Boston Red Sox. Except for I have to talk about this Frenchie Cordero. Yes, we acquired him in the trade with Kansas City for Benintendi. And I thought acquiring Frenchie Cordero wasn't a bad idea because people were saying that he has pop and he can do things really, really well. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, so he can be like a Willie Mo Pena or maybe like a Christian Yelich and hit some bombs out of the ballpark. But right now, Frenchie Cordero is not pursuing as many Red Sox fans hoping that he can do, which is kind of depressing as a Red Sox fan. Now, here's the thing. Will we see him maybe be demoted down to the Woo Sox? It's a possibility. It really is, because if you think about it, maybe if we, send up Danny Santana, who used to be an amazing player for Texas Rangers, maybe that could be one of our things that we can do. Or maybe have, Michael Chavis come up because he's been performing well down in Worcester. But, change needs to happen. And usually change is a good thing. It really is. But I think that the Red Sox need to do that. Because right now, if you ask me, Frenchie Cordero is not pursuing. Yeah, he has a couple RBIs, but he's the only newly acquired Red Sox player that hasn't hit a home run. And I was hoping to think that he could actually be the one that has hit maybe 2, maybe 3 bombs, but he hasn't been. Kiki's been doing better. Renfroe has been doing better. Even Marwin Gonzalez. He's had, I think, 1 home run, but still, I think that the Red Sox need to send down Frenchie Cordero in order to do well and bring up either Danny Santana or Michael Chavis, one of their hot bats. It needs to happen because Danny Santana, he was a great player for the Rangers. They really need to bring his butt up here because I think he can strive well. I think he's been sitting there, relaxing. He's been performing well. And I think the Red Sox need to make that phone call. They really need to call him up and be like, hey, our outfield hasn't been performing well, but we need to send down Frenchie Cordero and bring up Danny Santana. But Alex Verdugo has been on an absolute freaking tear right now as a Red Sox player. He's been doing well, and he's been performing well, which is amazing. Can Alex Verdugo produce more than what Mookie Betts did? It's his second, actual full year as a Red Sox, and I think he can actually do that. I think Verdugo can be the Mookie Betts that we've been wanting and waiting for. We've been seeing the home run cart, things in the dugout. I think that's great. I love that the Red Sox are trying to do, many things to spark up their, dugout and make things fun. When Brock Holt used to be on the team, he used to have a celebration with JD Martinez, which, now he can't do anymore since, Brock Holt's not on the team. But, the Red Sox are the fun Sox right now. We're going to call them the Boston Fun Sox, which is amazing. They're chilling in first place, which is amazing, which is great as a Red Sox fan. I would have never expected this. I really would have never expected this from the Boston Red Sox right now. And, just like I said at the beginning of my show, the Red Sox could be on a revenge tour. I think by the end of this year, we could be in the playoffs. Wild card or maybe first place in the AL East. It would be nice. It would be really awesome to say, hey, the Red Sox are a playoff team, because many people are laughing at us, this upcoming season. Oh, you guys don't have Mookie. Y'all lost JBJ. I mean, yeah, I miss JBJ, and I do miss Benintendi, and I think he could have pursued well with us, both of them. But, if you ask me honestly, I don't think I really miss JBJ. I miss his defense. I don't miss his bat. I think that's why, the Red Sox never signed JBJ. I think, the Red Sox were just like, hey, it's time to let the killer bees go, because, change is always good. I think Hunter Renfroe is sitting here well. I think Verdugo is doing a great job for the Red Sox. Cordero is doing elsewise, but Hernandez is, flip-flopping everywhere, playing from right to center to left to second base. And I like what they're doing with Marlon Gonzalez, switching him everywhere. Sometimes they'll even put him in the outfield, or they'll put him second base, first base, shortstop. He's been everywhere except for catcher, which is really a great thing. And I think the Red Sox are performing well because we have our beloved and loving full manager back in Alex Cora. Having Ron Renicky as the manager last year, I think the Red Sox were kind of like missing a spark. And the spark that they needed was definitely Alex freaking Cora right now. Because he was the spark that gave us our first World Series when he first coached us, which was amazing back in 2018. And, he was just a spark that we needed. All Red Sox fans really needed him. And we got him back. And ever since we got him back, everyone's been smiling. Everyone's been laughing, doing the home run carts in the dugout, which is great. He's been driving well in a Red Sox uniform. He'll be here forever. I have a good feeling. And once we get Chris Sale back in the rotation, that starting rotation will be unstoppable with Pivetta, with Sale, Rodriguez, Eovaldi. We're just an unstoppable team. We're chilling right now in first place. And we're playing the Detroit Tigers. And tomorrow afternoon will be the last game of a 3-game series. And Eovaldi will be pitching to end out the the series, which will be great to see. And, the Yankees are coming back from being in last place. Giancarlo Stanton is getting hot. But, as long as the Red Sox, they stay hot right now, that's all that really matters as a Boston fan. I could see us probably winning 90, maybe 92 games, and that could possibly get us in to the playoffs right now, which we would really, really love and which we would need. But, right now it's just an amazing season for the Red Sox. And, our pitching staff is unbelievable. Yes, so we have our woes with our, relief pitching. But I think, Whitlock, Ottavino, and Barnes are just amazing 7, 8, and 9 punch we've been waiting for. All right, before I end the show, we'll be right back. I just have a quick thought to say before we wrap things up here. I'm Devin Taleghani, and this is All right, guys, welcome back to the Clutch. One quick wrap up before I end things here. as you read down below, Aaron Rodgers is not happy with the Green Bay Packers. I can definitely see, Aaron Rodgers moving on from the Packers. Either he's going to be traded away to the Broncos, the 49ers, or maybe the Oakland Raiders, or another thing he could do, basically retire. Because here's the thing, it's basically been a quarterback's league in the offseason, which is kind of sad to see, but it's kind of awesome. But it would be really sad to see Aaron Rodgers hang up the cleats. But an interesting fact is that Bart Starr, when he used to be the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, he only played on the Packers for 16 seasons, and then he went on with his life. The all-grateful Brett Favre, he played for the Green Bay Packers 16 years, and then we all know what happened with his life. Aaron Rodgers, right now, he's played on the Packers for, I think, 16 seasons, and now doesn't want to play for 17. I've been hearing that he hasn't been treated right in Green Bay for the past couple of years, so could he possibly be on the move to another team like the Broncos? But here's the thing. Why would the Broncos want to trade for a quarterback if they already traded for a guy like Teddy Bridgewater? I mean, I understand if he goes to the Green Bay Packers, he will actually be the starter and Bridgewater will be the backup. But why would you want to trade for Teddy Bridgewater if you're going to trade for Aaron Rodgers? That's my question. That's like a kick in the face right there, or a slap in the face, as many people say here. But I don't know. Where will Aaron Rodgers be come next week or maybe the next couple of days? I think his honest answer will be possibly retiring, and that's going to be sad to see happen here. But I want to thank all you guys for watching my second episode of The Clutch. I will be back next Wednesday, as always, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. I want to say thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next week. I'm Devin Taleghani, and this is The Clutch.